Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a Sunday sermon. I hope that all of you are preparing to have a wonderful Christmas. Connie and I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and the best of a new year. We've started being live on YouTube, so all of our shows are available on YouTube if you miss any of them. We've got almost 450 available now, so anything that you would like to learn, I think we have available for you. So today we are very, very blessed. We're going to have a special Christmas message by Jesus himself. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for telling others, and our Father is now ready. Good morning, everyone. I want you to know just how pleased I am that you are taking time to listen to my words this morning. As you celebrate my birthday, I want you to remember that it is a time of happiness. It's a time of goodwill. It's a time of cheer. It's a time that you should be with your families. It's a time that you should be contemplating your relationship with me. Just as I was born, it is never too late for you to have a new relationship with me. You can be, shall we say, born again in your faith. Now, there are many out there that consider themselves born again Christians. Many of them are wonderful, wonderful people, just as many of you that are listening are incredible people as well. You see, it is faith. It is faith in me. It is faith that I truly exist. And it is faith that you will rest upon, that you will trust, that you will build your foundation of life. If you do that, then when you return home, you will truly be rewarded. Living a good life is the key. Every time I come to you, I tell you not to do anything to anyone else that you would not like to have done to yourself. That is really the basis of living a good life. If you think about that every time before you act, then the odds are very good that all will be well for you. If you don't have faith, then you're on your own. You see, if you have faith, then when you pray to me, you know that I hear you. When you pray to my saints, to my archangels, you know that they hear you as well. If you have faith, then you know that there is a greater being, that God truly exists, and that if you ask for the help of God, you'll receive it. You see, Mary and Joseph, my parents, they believed and they had faith. They had faith in the words of the angels. The angels showed them the way. The angels explained to them that my life was in danger. The angels explained to them that Herod wanted to kill me. Imagine a powerful king, a ruler of many, many areas of Judea, a man that had everything. You see, the Romans were very, very powerful. So if you were a king of an area, you had access to their army, and almost anything that you said would take place. If you gave an order, the army would follow out that order. When he couldn't find me, he gave the order to kill all of the young children that could be in that age bracket. He thought that he was clever. He had no regard for the grief that he would cause. He killed those young children, hoping that he would kill me. He failed to do what was right, obviously. And he created a karma. If you look at history, you will see that Herod died in much pain. He had multiple illnesses that caused him much pain and grief in his passing. If you try to kill God, what else can you expect? If you act like Herod acts, not necessarily having people killed, but hurting others, then you create a karma as well. It's no telling what that karma will be, because each individual will have a different one. It may not even be in the life that you're living, it may be in a future life. As soon as you return to heaven, your guides will inform you of the karmas that you created, of the things that you did wrong. In the case of Herod, he was informed that he would be sent to the lowest level because not only did he kill many people and create all the grief that goes with it, he tried to kill me. He tried to kill God. So it did not work out well for him. But things can work out incredibly well for all of you that are listening. All you have to do is believe that I truly exist. All you have to do is help others. That's pretty simple. If you have to choose between hurting others and helping others, what insanity would make you choose to hurt people? To hurt those around you? You don't like it when people show anger towards you. So why do you show anger towards them? In all probability, you don't want to be hated. So why would you show hatred towards others? Unless you're some type of masochist, you don't like to be hurt physically. Why would you give orders that hurt others physically? You see, it all does come down to common sense, doesn't it? It all comes down to the basic rule of not doing anything to somebody else that you don't want done to yourself. I had much assistance when I was born. Gabriel, the other angels, they all helped. They told my parents what path they had to follow. And my parents had the faith to follow what they were told from the angels. Had they not, Herod would have killed me. And I would have returned to heaven, and I would have had to go through all of the planning that we went through for my birth and my life. You see, it was time for the Romans to stop worshiping all of their multiple deities. There was much to be gained by believing in a single God. If they worshiped me, then they could receive guidance. If they received all those multiple deities, they were on their own. Sometimes people prosper being on their own, but they could prosper much more if they believed in me prayed to me, and asked for my guidance. It's free. There's no charge for prayer. You do not have to put money into a church coffer to speak with me. Never believe that the only way you can speak with me is through the religions, because that's not true. You see, there were people that would speak to a spirit before there were religions. Many people lived before Christianity was established. Don't believe for a moment that you have to be a member of an organized religion to ascend to heaven. When you pass, your soul will go to heaven. There's no doubt. What happens after you arrive in heaven is where there is doubt. Believing in me is the foundation. I keep telling you this. Forget what happened in the past. We all make mistakes. When I was a human, I made mistakes. I fought with my brothers and sisters. I acted as a child. I lived a human life. I wanted to experience all of the emotions, all of the physical things that a human goes through. In the end, I suffered a pain on the cross, much more difficult than any of you will ever be asked to suffer. You may have illnesses, you may have many problems. But I chose the method of my death. I chose to die on the cross. And by doing so, I created a memory for humans. Humans didn't forget my death. You see, I had to die so that I could be resurrected. And that was the true miracle. There'll be a time in a couple months where you will commemorate my death and celebrate my resurrection. I want you to understand that all of those things truly took place as well. But today, I want you to focus on the joy of looking at a newborn baby, the joy of looking at the most amazing miracle that takes place for humans. The fact that two people can get together in love, and from two cells, a human is born. And those two cells multiply at a very rapid rate until there are billions. And then this baby comes forth, this wonderful little miracle of God. You see this small, smiling face looking up at you. There is no evil in that baby. That baby is born without evil. That baby is born in love, and that baby should be loved. Many parents today struggle. Many parents today cannot do what they want to do for their child because circumstances make it so difficult. In my day, it was very, very difficult. There was no safety net. There was no shelters where people gave food and love. If you were extremely poor, you would probably wind up begging in the street. And you would not live that long. I lived in a very difficult time. So do not think that the time in which you are living is more difficult. I managed to speak with the people. I only had a ministry that lasted for 3 years, and the words that I spoke have lasted for thousands. This all came from this little baby, the baby whose birth you're now about to celebrate this weekend. The celebration of my birth is an incredible thing. You see, the fact that anybody even remembers the fact that a child was born over 2,000 years ago that's kind of a miracle. The fact that that baby grew up to change the world, that's a miracle as well. But you see, it's all part of faith. The people that listened to me when I walked the earth had the faith that I was telling them the truth. I told them if they lived a good life, they would join me in heaven, and that was the truth. I spoke the ultimate truth. I told them that their souls indeed had everlasting life and that they would live forever. But I did not tell them that they had to rely on others to live forever. I spoke so simply to them that they understood. I did not complicate my message. You see, I was a simple carpenter. I was a fisherman. I lived a normal life of a human for 28 years. Then I began my ministries, and everything changed. I spoke the words of heaven. I spoke the words of belief. And I told them simply live a good life. That's all they had to do. Many had so much faith that they followed me to a certain death. They spoke the words that they knew the Romans would kill them for. There were many martyrs. Many of my closest followers spoke the words that brought them death by the Romans. Many suffered. Many did what they needed to do to assure that my words would live on. The miracle of the fact that from this small baby who you are going to celebrate the birth of in the next few days, the miracle that the words that would come out of that small baby would create a religion of billions. And those billions of people would follow the words that that baby would speak for thousands of years. Today, as you celebrate my birthday, I want you to think simply of love for others, love for your family. Help somebody that is lonely. Many seniors are very sad this weekend. Many of them are institutions, and they know that they are simply passing time until they can join me in heaven. Call them on the phone. Tell them that you still care about them. Take time in this busy weekend to maybe visit a shelter. Help those that need help. So I want to thank you. I especially want to thank all of you that listen to my messages as they are given. I truly bless each and every one of you that are listening. I bless all of you that have that foundation of faith. And I especially bless all of you that truly love me and help to make the world a better place. So goodbye. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. We will continue to bring you messages, but make this a weekend of peace and joy and love. You will not regret it. Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you, Father. Another wonderful message. Hopefully, all of you listening out there will follow his advice. It'll bring you true happiness. I know serving him is not easy at times, especially when you're an old man. But do what you can to bring joy to others and show love. We'll be back again next week. I'm not sure who the speaker will be, but it will be outstanding. So thank you and have a blessed Christmas. And we will speak again.